Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to just some random flight simulator nonsense tonight. I kind of wanted to check a few things with the Vision Jet. I noticed they had the safe return uh, system installed on the ship, not on the ship, on the plane. So I was kind of curious whether or not that's actually a system that's simulated, and if it works or not. Then maybe we'll also see if the parachute works on it too, and then maybe just kind of just a few random missions or a few just other activities just to screw around for a little bit in. But anyway, hey Thomas, how's it going? All right, so let me move this over here. It's all the way. All right. So they did just do a patch too, which to be honest, I have no idea what was in the patch. I didn't actually look at the patch notes for it, but there is a bigger update coming this week also. So it's good to know that they're at least working on fixing some things. So first things first, we're gonna take the Vision Jet out. I'm just gonna we'll go with Hawaii since it's still daytime out there anyway. And I think what we'll do is we'll simulate, we'll take off from, uh, well, we'll see how long it's gonna take. Departure, and HL will be our arrival. So that's gonna give us, apparently we have no fuel. And the flight is 0 nautical miles, so that's not right. Um, hmm, interesting. I don't want to spend forever doing this since we're just checking. I just wanted to see if the safe return system actually works or not. So we're just gonna set our departure here, and then I think what we'll do. We only have three gallons for 20 nautical miles. I mean, that should be good enough because since we're gonna let it auto land anyway, hopefully. So let's see what happens. Obviously, I've never used the safe return system, but I have seen it work. Promotional stuff for the aircraft, and then there was actually a video um, I saw a couple years, maybe probably a couple years ago now, of it actually in action and working. So I'm wondering if it's fully simulated or if it's just basically an auto, like using an auto land. But I guess we'll find out. All right, so let's see. We are gonna have to. My controls working for these, so yeah, I think that always happen. All right, so let's go to. All right, let's check the auto throttle on. Follow the nav. So this should turn us on course. Take us to our destination. I don't really know what it's really doing right now. It appears to be flying into the ground, which is not good. But seems to be recovering a bit. Not sure what is going on. Alright, so let's just get this set up real quick. So we're going to set our altitude for, we'll go for 3,000 feet. Flight level change. It's flying itself. Auto throttle should be engaged. It is just giving us a climb. So let's just get up to altitude and then we'll simulate apparently that I'm dead. And then we'll see if the computer can take over. Hey, Professor. Alright, so what are we doing here? not turning on course here. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it has to be in an area where there's an airport for it to actually work. If it does work. Oh. Our autopilot was turned off, that's why. Alright, there we go. So, there. Nav mode is on. So for some reason it wants to take us out to the ocean, which is not what we want, so we're gonna... Heading bug is right, alright, we're gonna go to heading mode. And make a 180 here, so we're not heading out to sea. I don't think any kind of auto land system would help us if we were in the middle of the ocean. So let's, we're on localizer for some reason. Why not? So we need to switch our... We want the FMS. There we go. Now we have the right system selected. I don't know why it started off with the localizer, but now we can go to nav mode. Should get us on track. Still not at the altitude we selected yet, so that's 3,000 flight level change. We appear to be heading towards this mountain. That's not good. Okay, let's do it this way. I'm gonna turn our autopilot off. We're just go to full power here to get us up over this mountain so we don't slam into it. We're clearing this mountain. That's good. That's what we wanted to happen. For some reason, it doesn't let me. Also doesn't let me look around for some reason. All right, so we are gonna turn this way. We want to hopefully get it to land at Honolulu, but it might select the closest airport, which is that's what it's supposed to do. Select closest airport with obviously a runway long enough to be able to take care of the airplane. So I guess we'll aim it this way, so we're aiming a bit more towards where we're going. We want to go back that way, so that works. Let's continue on turn here. Follow the coast. Okay, we obviously can't land at a helipad. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so pilot just died, so the passenger's flying it home. We have to hit the big red button. Activate safe return. Emergency auto land activating. Auto land failed, no airport found. Is that so? Sorry everyone, you're about to die. engage our autopilot. Resuming nav mode. Auto throttle. Let's see if this works. Idle land activating. That's where we should be going, is through here. Ah! It did. Alright, it found the airport. Landing in a half an hour. Where the hell is this taking us? Taking us to a completely different airport. It's going to take us across the ocean, apparently, to a different island. You'd think it would go to the closest airport, which was Honolulu, but alright. 88 miles. That's a little odd. Hey, Eric. So 24 minutes. And it's putting us into a pretty heavy climb, too. I mean, it's kind of working. Blanked out all of our displays, so we can't actually see, but normally when this would be activated, you'd get a you'd get like a Siri voice telling you what was happening. It would automatically switch us to 7700 on our transponder to identify us as an emergency aircraft, and then it would automatically take our it would automatically do all of all the radios, so you would just basically have to sit here and sit if you're a passenger and just wait for it. Just giving us instructions. Press and hold the talk button and the center screen to contact air traffic control. So there should be. We don't have it. It's just a black screen. So I'm assuming they just don't give us that option. It's just not actually simulated, I guess. But there'd really be no reason anyway, because the computer should be making all the radio calls for us. En route to here. And no action required. So at 27 minutes. How do we do time compression? That's the thing. How do we compress time so we don't have to actually sit here for the next half an hour just to wait for this to see if it successfully lands itself. FCR, it's a flight recorder. It's just our weather. I know it's possible because I've seen other people use it. Acceleration to compress and sim rate one. Accelerated time going by just like in 2024, simulation control R. Numpad 1, 2, up and down. For sim rate setting and controls for me in PC with Alt-R. Oh. That's not it. Alright. Performance of my CPU. Alt R. Plus Q is doing nothing. Alright, so we're going into a turn. Alright, landing in 17 minutes. That's not actually too bad. So it's gonna we have 64 track miles to run. It's gonna turn us in 12 minutes, and in 7 minutes it should start our descent. So let's see it. And then I'd assume it's also gonna handle like deploying our landing gear and flaps and everything on its own. I mean, it does in the real system, so if it doesn't in this, that'd be pretty useless. It's just crashing. If it just crashes us into the ground. Alright, we'll let it go. We'll just look out the window at the island. You're way too calm about this, sir. Alright, 15 minutes to go. So I mean, it's bringing us on a bit of a journey here. We were closest to Honolulu. That's where I figured it would just pick up that airport and send us there. That's why we're only at about 3,000 feet. Decided to take us on a slight journey all the way over to this other island and airport. Not really sure why. Well, I guess the one good thing was that the system was smart enough to put us into a climb into to a safe altitude, so we don't run into any mountains on the way out here. And it gives us a good amount of altitude, so in case, let's say, our engine completely fails, we'd have enough altitude to be able to pull the chute, or just to be able to have time to glide if we needed to make it to land. So I mean, so far so good. It hasn't made a single radio call though, and I'm assuming that did not change our transponder frequency at all either. So I think that pretty much activating this, I'm assuming, is just basically going to be like using the autopilot to land itself. And it doesn't fully simulate the safe return system. I'm wondering if no, it wouldn't make sense if we started in flight and over the ocean. So Yeah, it doesn't. I just don't really understand why it's picked this airport out of all the ones we are nearby. It can't obviously can't be like runway length because Honolulu would be more than sufficient. But alright, whatever. I haven't touched anything. It's just doing its thing on its own. I mean, just looking at our, if you look at our little directional gyro up here, I mean, we have an airport. We're literally coming up on straight in front of us too. It could have selected. So, odd. It won't be too long though. 3 minutes till it starts our descent. We can see if this system handles it, or if it nosedives us into the ocean. Again, it is kind of nice. So if you were a passenger and you actually had to use this system, at least it tells you what's about to happen, how many miles are left. It tells us your fuel remaining. We have an hour, 1.2 hours of fuel available. Yeah, so in real life, yeah, there would be a button right here on the touch screen that you could use. So if you really wanted to talk to air traffic ATC, you could. All start freaking out. Turn on the AC. 100%. Why not? What is this for?
Vertical track.
What did that say? Oh well. Alright, descending in 1 minute. So I wonder. I mean, it kind of. I mean, it tells you everywhere on every screen. It's an emergency auto land is active, and you don't have to do anything. But let's say if I grab the stick and put it into a turn, does that? All right, so it doesn't actually screw it up. I was wondering if it just would automatically shut it down, and it doesn't. So that's good. So. So it's got us in a descent. We're descending back for about the next 5 minutes, and we make our turn in 5 minutes. Handling it really well. It's got just a gentle 5-degree downing descent, so looking good. Landing in 9 minutes. I wonder if for missions, like in the career mode, since you're graded on landings, I wonder if you could just use this to cheat. Like once you get really close to the airport, just throw it into auto land, emergency auto land, and see if it would take it in on itself. by itself once you have this plane to start doing missions in. I think this is the only plane that has it so far. I know that in real life a couple other series have started adding the system, but I don't know if any of the Cirrus planes in this simulator has it available. So it's probably just this one. 3 minutes to go.
Thankfully, things have calmed down here a bit the last several hours.
Hazelnut was going completely crazy. I think she's getting stir crazy, sitting on her nest all the time. So she kind of was being a really bad mom today. Did not want to sit on her nest. So the baby was constantly just following her around while she was pretty much just walking around in circles. It kept pacing over the baby bird. So that was a bit irritating, but she's finally calmed down a bit. I think giving her some, because I had taken out all of her eggs, so I wonder if she was just annoyed sitting there without having any eggs to sit on, even though she has her baby that she's supposed to be taking care of. But, so I gave her back some, I checked for a couple eggs, and I found a few infertile ones, so I just gave her a few infertile eggs to sit on top of, and that seems to have made her happy at least. So she won't act, so she's actually staying with the baby now and not just walking all over it. But then I also brought the incubator in here just in case. I can use that as an emergency brooder if she decides to abandon her kid, which does happen, especially when it's the first time they ever hatch a baby. They can lose interest in it and just abandon it. I think she's getting lonely too, because she's blocked off from all the other birds, and I think she wants to go sit with the other ones. But since the other birds seem to want to grab the baby and go run around with it, I have to keep it separated. We got 1 more minute to descend, and that's probably going to bring us down to, well, it's bringing us down to 5,000, so we're not quite down to pattern altitude yet, so I'm guessing that's just our initial descent, and it's going to give us another descent once we get a bit closer. It's starting our turn in and continuing to descend, so it's just slowed our descent rate from 1200 to 900. Let's see, we're right around like 3% now. Okay, so now it's put us, yeah, we're at about 3% now, so we're at a normal glide angle. Oh, never mind. Yeah, never mind. It's about there. It's a little bit steeper than usual, but it's fine. It works. So it made our first turn, still descending for 4 more minutes and turning in another 4 minutes, and that's going to probably be our turn to final, probably. Looks like it. I think the system is set up to always just take you in on a straight in. Doesn't which which makes sense since it's an emergency. We want to get down as soon as possible, so it's not going to throw us into a pattern. Oh, well, that's right. I was going to turn on other traffic too, but since we don't have any other air traffic around either, I was kind of wondering if there would if AI airspace would clear the AI planes for an emergency, but I'm guessing not, since we haven't even heard anything from it at all, and we haven't heard the plane report in at all either. Does and it deployed 1 knot of flaps for us already. And so far, so good. It's not doing anything weird, like putting us into a dive to get down. Actually hitting correct speeds to like deploy flaps too, so that's good. So far, it seems like it's pretty well simulated so far. I mean, the video I saw a couple years ago on the system, it's obviously a few years old, so it might have been updated. But on that one, on the bottom screens, it had like the in the TNG nav screens where they have like the boxes that keep going by. That they basically had that too. That showed like a flight line, and then like the boxes that were like passing, that were constantly scrolling by, like you're flying through them. Kind of like the blue boxes that are magically in the air when you're out flying in this too. Alright, so that was probably our final turn, unless there's another turn to the runway. I don't know if you can see my cursor or not, but that from this blue dot straight forward to that white dot, I'm pretty sure that's the airport we're going to, so I'm pretty sure I can see the runway from here. A little white strip. Alright, so it's stopped its descent at 2600. That's it just went to full flaps and it's dropping our gear for us. Looks like it's maintaining the correct landing speed for this too. So far so good. I think it's gonna work. Yep, alright, 6 miles to go. Four minutes to landing. We're at the 5 mile mark. Normally, this would be our reporting, so I'm assuming. So the real system would report at this point again that they're inbound. Yep, we're set up for straight in. So we see the runway right in front of us. It does say approaching runway on the screen. Hey, we're gonna make it. We're not gonna die. And let me looking at our PAPI lights out to the right side. We got 2 red, 2 white, so we're right on glide slope. It's actually doing a really good job. Target lock.
500.
Looking good. We can do it, little plane. That's right down on the 1,000-foot mark, as it looks like. A little bit short, but right on the touchdown zone. Not bad. Automatically just gives us our reverse thrust. It should come to a full stop on its own without any intervention. So it's back down. I'm not sure what it's doing now, but it should have. I just pulled the throttle back now. I was just leaving it where it was because I figured it would automatically take care of that for us. We've overrun. Yeah, it's not auto braking. so we'll stop before we run into these trees. But alright, we ran into them. But anyway, I mean, it works. It just doesn't end it. It just doesn't bring you to a full stop like it should on its own and cut everything off. But I mean, the system does work. Let's Actually, we could just keep going here. Alright, so let's jump back inside and make sure all of our systems are turned off. We want to turn auto land off. I don't know if it'll let me. There we go. Okay, so we have control back. We're gonna head towards land, and then we'll simulate an engine failure and see if the parachute system works. If that's actually simulated. Let's give ourselves some altitude. Yeah, it'd be easier for them to recover in the plane than in the ocean, but I don't know. Maybe a water landing might be better than landing in the having the airplane smash into a bunch of trees at the end of the runway. Let's go up to about 5,000 feet, and we'll cut everything. Stay in this area though. For some reason, OBS disconnected for a second there. Everything is still working. Alright, so we're at our altitude we want. And jump back inside. And then we'll shut everything off. Oh, it does work. I suppose we're going a little bit fast to pull it, but yeah, they actually do simulate this, though. This would be like super last resort too, because it costs so much money to cost thousands of dollars to get your airplane craft recertified and get the parachute repacked if you actually do pull this in real life. So I mean, and most of the time you can usually just emergency land without the parachute anyway, so this is kind of like a last resort. Nothing else is working. Yeah, it actually does work. Honestly, I didn't think they would, because in the last one in 2020 they had like the Cirrus aircraft all have parachutes on them, and they didn't put that in the simulator. Yeah, I mean it's better than dying, but normally you wouldn't anyway. I mean you would just have to do a power off emergency landing, which all planes are pretty much capable of doing. I suppose this would be helpful if you were like in an uncontrolled spin and there was just no way out of it. Flat spin where you couldn't get out of it either. Something like that. Or if, a complete flight control failure also would be a good time to pull the chute. But it's not like it's a really soft landing either. You're still descending at 1900 feet per minute, so it's still a pretty hard landing. Put in our gear to oh shit, it's not gonna let us. We don't have a manual gear drop either, I don't think. I think because I literally shut everything off, and this has an electronic gear. It's not gonna. Yeah, okay. So it did land us, but it counts it as a crash. The parachute's still out while the engine's running. All right. All right. Interesting. I was just really curious whether that was actually in the game or not. Let's try one of these activity things. We haven't done any of these. Championship discovery, custom content. Precision landing, Kruger Park, the Needles, Orlando. We can go visit John in our 737. Not a lot of people doing the challenges this time around. Only 10 people on the board. I mean, not John. I mean, maybe we'll crash into LDG's house. "14 nautical miles to the target." Alright, so here's the issue. We don't have anything set up for flaps, and we don't have anything set up for reverse thrusters, so... We're just gonna attempt to... land in a completely clean configuration. We are not going to score very high. Be easier to do this from inside. I mean, we're just a little bit below glide slope. We're on glide, we're good. A little high now. bit low. There we go. It's not bad for not having literally anything set up for this plane. Slam on the brakes. Stop! There's no, I guess in this one they just want you to safely land. In the other one they had like a blue box, so they wanted you to be able to stop inside of. Honestly, that went a lot better than I thought it was going to. Now if our brakes can actually stop us, alright, we're almost stopped. Activity success! What did we get? We only got 372,000 points. Why? Where are the details? Let's see what the details are. So yeah, it wants to land on a touchdown point. There was no touchdown point. I didn't see a touchdown point on the runway, unless it just wants us to land on 1,000-foot markers. Oh, and then probably because we kind of slammed on the runway, it wants us to be at close to 0 feet per minute. I get it. All right. But since there's only 14 people on the board, we should actually get there. At least get listed, right? Let's see. What? We should be listed as 11th place. Screw you. Oh, there's that super hard one in Lukla. I need to set a button up for flaps, so. Have I measured CPU temps? I have not. On this plane even is, so we're just gonna do it like the other one. We'll just go attempt to land. Trying to get us downwind, so let's have an idea. We're kind of just do this almost flat so we can get closer to that 0. Oops, probably a little too a little too much power. Alright, that didn't work. We gotta have, alright. I swore I had a button set up for. I don't know. We'll start hitting buttons when we get out here and see if we can figure it out. Time. Yeah, I have no idea where the marker is.
Minimum 100.
We're down. Hey, we did it. That was terrible. Wait, how come it's not like saying we're done? There we go. $3,000 points. I would call that 100, at least 1,000,000 points. That was not too bad. We survived. We didn't crash. Come on. See, because it wants us to make a precision landing, so it should give us like. I don't want to restart. What am I doing? It should give us like a marker on the runway to where they want us to touch down. That's what they did in 2020, at least. Doing this again. Just need to be able to quit. Let's see what the low altitude one is. Grand Canyon. That could be fun. I haven't yet. I haven't gone into the settings to really look at anything. So what are we supposed to do? Just stay low through the canyon? I think we can do that. Alright, so we're just going through the canyon up to the end point. Alright. We got this. Wait, where the hell is it starting us off from? I guess we're going the other way? I assume it wants us in the canyon. Now where we going? What? Yeah, back on track. Thank you for putting me right next to a rock. That's very helpful. What the hell? Oh, there's our ghost. We have to follow. Come on, get under control, Super Hornet. We're doing okay, but screw up. There's some people around there. I kind of hope I'm going the right way. I'm guessing this is what it wants us to follow. No! Tougher than I thought it was. Super sensitive, like you don't have to like really even move the stick and it just banks really hard, so it's like right there. Come on. I don't even know if we're supposed to be this low either. I think our goal is like this level. Stay around here, see if we can actually make it now. Shit. canyon looks so much better though from 2020. Actually, it looks like the canyon, not just a blurry mess. They put all the other systems on the other planes too. They should let us have missiles on them. So we just fire random shit. Yeah, might be getting the hang of it. He says as he almost crashes into that side of the canyon. So 3 minutes behind the leader. But we did score points throughout the up. So I think we're doing better in regards to being lower to the ground. 8 miles to go. We make it. Miles, not screw up. Come on. You can do it, Super Hornet. Time. We're only 20 seconds slower through that section. Not bad. Good on, good for us. And goal. We almost got 1,000,000 points. The world leaderboard. Our personal. Oh, wait a minute. Why our personal record is 900 is just under 1,000,000 points, but the world record is 200,000 points. That doesn't make any sense. We should be at number 1. Is it because we crashed? Maybe. See, I don't even get how these leaderboards even work, apparently, because we should have gotten that. Okay, flying low and flying fast, as the lowest path is not always the most straightforward. Scoring is determined through altitude and speed. Altitude every second the pilot's altitude is above sea level. Above sea level is measured. Well, I hope you stay above sea level. The lower the altitude, the fewer the points. Wait, what? The lower the altitude, the fewer the points they will receive, leading to a better score. How does that work? The faster a pilot completes the course, the fewer times their altitude will be measured, leading to a better score. I don't. What? That's stupid. I don't understand. Even reading that doesn't even make it clear how this is even scored. Whatever. We got 900,000 points. We're apparently the world record holder. What's a rally race? Oh, it's another Grand Canyon race. Queenstown. The Mock Loop. What? Queenstown. What's this one? I don't want to do one of these actually. Let's kind of see why everyone kind of skips over these. They're kind of dumb. Hmm. Oh, let's try. Let's go see if we can land on the Golden Gate Bridge. It's an airport. Oh, look, there's like traffic on them on the map. We'll start from. I really don't want to take the time to take off, so we'll just start from here. You can land on the solar panels. They look pretty flat. On top of the wherever that train tube thing is that goes over the bridge. Well, there's a couple bridges over here too. We'll go check out the other one too. Oh shit, we need to change the time. Oh, you know what? Let's go check it out at night first. I'm assuming we can't go underneath this one. It looks like there's a wall there. We'll try it anyway. It might just be the reflection off the water, but we're kind of assume that there is a giant wall here that's going to stop us. Oh well, there's not. Alright, well some bridges are available to fly under recklessly. Trees. Like we have zero engine power. What the fuck's going on? to be anyway, so. Alright, so in 2020 we were able to make it through all of these spans. Let's see if we can... Shit, I think it's gonna be too narrow. Oh, maybe not. Don't mind me, people. Wow, it's like barely big enough for this plane to fit through, which doesn't really make sense. No, don't flip over. Damn it. California Palace of the Legion of Horror. What's that? Let's go check it out. The Police Department Pistol Range. Oh, this plane is a really hard time just climbing up. Ooh. Oh, there's Alcatraz. We go check that out. I don't know why, but it seems like this plane has a maximum altitude of 400 feet. Because if I try and climb anymore, it just kills all of our airspeed for some reason. That's not realistic. Alright. Actually, I want to see if I can make it through the entire span of the bridge first. And we'll go say hi to Alcatraz. This should be a challenge. You get points for every span you make it underneath, make it through. I wonder if we can exit through these cables. You think? Wow, that was close. Alright, let's go to Alcatraz. If we can get there in our shitty little plane that doesn't let me climb above a couple hundred feet. Greetings, prisoners. We're here to help you escape. So there's nowhere to land here. That building's long enough. Oh, the ruins of Alcatraz. I don't think there's that many trees on this island either. Let's see what San Francisco looks like, even though I'm pretty sure, like all the other major cities, it looks pretty terrible. It already looks brown from over here, but I guess for San Francisco, that's probably pretty realistic. The entire city is just covered in poop. Is that a tree growing out of that building? I think it is. Go check it out. Ah, it's the famous skyscraper trees out here. What the fuck? It's an enormous tree. After the end of the world, nature has reclaimed most of San Francisco. Look at all the trees growing out of the buildings. That's something they need to fix, is that there's literally one in the middle of that building, and a couple of those. That's one thing that a lot of people have been complaining about. It's just random trees populating where they're not supposed to be, and just completely overdoing it with the trees this time around. Even in 2020, it wasn't this bad. I mean, there were some like in 2020 there were some like random like rocks and shit where there shouldn't be, like giant rock spires, where the game just rendered buildings in as rock. It's like giant rocks instead of buildings, but this is not looking too good. More than wide enough to so we can get down, but I'm pretty sure we'll hit a building if we get to the ground level. Yeah, and for some reason all these small planes are wider than the entire street for some 4-lane street for some reason. It doesn't make any sense. There's a giant mythical tree up here at the top of this hill. We'll check that out. Probably where the Keebler elves live and making cookies. Oh, there's like police sirens down there. What the hell is this supposed to be? I think it's a building. Yeah, it's supposed to be a building, but the entire forest has overgrown that, whatever that's supposed to be. Maybe it's just like a mountaintop, but that's terrible. We'll just follow the freeway for a little bit. What's this over here? Embroidery. It's probably at Walmart. Well, no, it's got red letters, so maybe like a PetSmart. Something like floating over here. Is this supposed to be a crane? I think this is supposed to be a crane. Or not. I have no idea what the hell this is supposed to be. I wonder if this is like a bridge under construction, maybe? It's gotta be. Okay. Shit. Some destroyed warehouses, apparently. Frame rate is terrible right now. Let's get away from the city so we can get our frame rate back. I guess we'll go see what Oakland looks like. Our engine's broken. 'Cause I don't know what the hell's going on. That doesn't help. I can't get up. I can't get like to. I can't even get us to 100 feet anymore. We're at full power. There we go. At least we're a little bit above the water now. Shouldn't crash into the bay at least. But yeah, I don't know why this is like essentially our maximum altitude. It's gonna take a few minutes apparently to get there. Alright, I mean, this was a fun plane to fly in 2020. So far right now, it's complete garbage. I don't understand why it's so terrible. Oh my god. Oh shit. Ah, there we go. Wait, come on, prop. It's this prop lever. It's basically it's almost in the feather configuration. That's why we can't get any power out of our engine. It's weird. It's stuck. Every time I move it to the right position, it automatically goes back almost into a feathered position. I think it is actually feathered. It's all the way back. I mean, technically, we probably shouldn't even be flying. we will just land here since we're about to fall out of the sky anyway. What the hell? What? What the hell? Nope. What the hell was that? Finding out a runway. We're gonna have to make our own runway. I think there's something wrong with this airplane. I haven't had the power on since we went into that dive. Since I put ourselves into that dive when the flight reset, and I can't bleed off any speed for some reason. No matter nothing I do, it seems to bleed off any airspeed, and we're still increasing, and the throttle's at 0. What the fuck? On. Your wheels on the ground, damn it. Fuck's sake. What is going? I mean, seriously, what the hell's going on? It should not be this difficult to land. All right, at least now it's not mysteriously speeding up with the throttle at idle. So that's an improvement. That's gotta be like some serious wind that's blowing us over. No, there's not even any wind at the field. What the fuck was that? Oh. Everyone out. Run run away from the airplane. It's possessed. Yeah, we shut down and the main engine went to full it's showing at full power for some reason. It makes no sense. That plane is broken. Anyway, guys, well, I just kind of wanted to screw around for a few minutes. I was just curious of a couple of those if a couple of those systems in the Vision Jet were actually simulated, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of neat that they were. Um, they don't actually have emergencies in 2024 yet, which is kind of odd. I know that's something that's coming up, and that's gonna eventually end up being in the game, but so maybe there would actually be a purpose to have those emergency systems in place. But I mean, they're not there yet. It's kind of odd that they don't have them since every other flight sim has had them. So I don't know. It still it still definitely needs some work. Hopefully they're on the big update that they're doing a big sim update this week. So hopefully that'll fix a few things. I mean, I have no idea. I wasn't even I was hardly even touching the controls, and we were just basically going completely out of control on that landing that we just did. For some reason, we just kept pulling to the like rolling to one side, which made no sense at all because I wasn't even pulling the stick in that direction. So that's why I figured that was like like a ridiculously strong wind that was blowing us. And but yeah, when we saw the windsock, it was just basically hanging down, so there was no wind at the field. So I have no idea what the hell that was. Yeah, I need to actually go take the time to go through and into settings and actually set up buttons on the controller so we can actually like deploy flaps and shit like that. Because I completely forgot like what button it is on the keyboard. Oh, it's B and V, I think. But anyway, who cares?
All right, guys, that's it for tonight. I'm gonna go cover up the birds.
You demand what? You demand you recreate Airhouse spy mission? We would just end up crashing into the ocean, Thomas. Or we'd have to emergency land on Howland Island, and we'd have to eat our co-pilot to stay alive. All right, guys, that's it for me for tonight. I gotta go cover up the birds and feed them, and then I'm gonna probably be calling it a night early tonight. So, thanks a lot for stopping by. We'll see ya probably tomorrow, and then definitely on Thursday we'll have whatchamacallit, 7 Days to Die again. So, all right, see you later. Bye bye.